Now call the member for Northern Tablelands.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. As all members of this House would know, I'm an unabashed, strong advocate for the jobs and growth that the renewable energy revolution is bringing to the electorate of Northern Tablelands, but also right throughout country New South Wales. Mr Deputy Speaker, in 2013, this government released the New South Wales Renewable Energy Action Plan to increase energy from renewables and reduce the cost to energy customers and maximise the benefits that this industry can bring to people in this state. I can say from the perspective of the Northern Tablelands, Mr Deputy Speaker, this plan is definitely working. To date, we have leveraged over $582 million of Commonwealth funding for 104 renewable energy projects across country New South Wales, and I'm very proud to have 4 of those in the Northern Tablelands. I want to take the House first of all to the west of my electorate, to the beautiful Moree Plains area. The glorious Moree Plains, God's own country, they say. There's a quiet revolution of renewable energy and solar going on out there. On the flat plains, almost 10 kilometres to the south of Moree, sprawling across 350 hectares, or about 860 acres in the old language, there's the Moree Solar Farm. It's a project that is as impressive in scale as it is in results. Let's consider the scale of the project. 222,000 solar PV panels erected almost 3 metres above the ground, all of them individually tracking the sun's path to maximise output. It's a staggering sight when you're flying into the community. I have no doubt it's visible from space, Mr Deputy Speaker. That is a big call, but it's a big solar farm and it's doing great things for Moree and country New South Wales. The energy from this farm has already started flowing and the solar farm will be fully commissioned next month. This project's funded by FRV with support from the Australian Renewable Energy Agency, courtesy of the efforts of the hard-working member for Parks, my federal colleague Mark Colton. When fully operational, the Moree Solar Farm will have the capacity of 56 megawatts and will generate enough electricity to supply around 15,000 homes annually. This infrastructure delivers tangible benefits to the community and the region. There are about 100 people employed during the construction phase, with 5 jobs required to keep the plant buzzing along. Now, it's no coincidence that Moree derives its name from the old Kamilaroi language, which means rising sun. So it's very appropriate that we have the wonderful solar farm at Moree. I want to congratulate Moree Plains Shire Council, particularly the Mayor Katrina Humphries, which has driven this project through a number of iterations over many, many years. But Mr Deputy Speaker, that's just the tip of the solar and renewable iceberg in the Northern Tablelands. Over in the east, when we look at the Glen Innes community, we've got wind farms going up everywhere. We've got a beautiful wind farm cluster, Mr Deputy Speaker, that involves the Goldwind Company with their White Rock Wind Farm Stage 1, which involves a 70 turbine development. That's just Stage 1. That'll get underway with construction in the coming months. We've got the Sapphire Wind Farm, which is a 159 turbine development by CWP, and I note that company has just picked up a multi-million dollar contract with the ACT government to provide electricity to 110,000 homes in the ACT, and the finance derived from that contract will underpin the finances for the development of the Sapphire Wind Farm at Glen Innes. 159 turbines. That construction should get underway in October this year. We're talking about, Mr Deputy Speaker, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of investment coming into the Glen Innes region and the Inverell community as well. We're talking about hundreds of jobs in the construction phase and 20, 30, 40 jobs on an ongoing basis. We've got about local contractors getting an opportunity to actually tender for works on those sites, not necessarily constructing the turbines, but simple things like road construction, fencing, and supporting the temporary villages that go up to actually construct these wind farms. Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm a strong advocate for renewable energy in my electorate, not only because of the obvious environmental benefits, but also because of the very tangible economic benefits. It's a new industry to our region, which is largely reliant on the agricultural sector. That's what our economies are based around. Lastly, Mr Deputy Speaker, I want to just mention again in the House the Zero Net Energy project at Uralla that's powering ahead, and also the Renewable Energy Hub, which I'm hoping to see Transgrid construct at Glen. It's renewables, it's all happening in the Northern Tablelands, Mr Deputy Speaker, and as usual, we're powering along.
Mr Speaker, in reply.
I call the Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, isn't it appropriate that the member for Northern Tablelands comes into the House to talk about energy, because he is as energetic a local member as I've ever seen, Mr Speaker. He introduces to this House a wonderful update on the activities of his electorate, in particular the Moree Solar Farm, Mr Speaker, out on the sweeping Moree Plains. Can I thank the member for Northern Tablelands for giving us that update, and also on other projects such as Uralla's Zero Net Energy Town, the Blueprint ZNet project. And these are projects which the member has been working very hard on, and it is very important that he continues to update the House on these important issues, and I thank him for his energy and his commitment to these projects and his electorate and his passion.